Hello, beautifuls. Today's perspective has to do with the difference between care and concern. And for most of us, we have grown up, at least in North America, in a culture where care and concern seem to go hand in hand. But the challenge today is to maybe consider how we can show up in our care for others without the concern. Those two words have a very different energetic component. And we've talked before how everything is energy, and energy impacts our experience. So when we think of the word care, it denotes a state or being of loving and affection. When we think of the word concern, it is more of a mental state of being worried, anxious, or fearful. And oftentimes we have been groomed or conditioned to believe that if we have others show up in our concern for us, it will elicit care for us. Yet what if we realized that concern was disempowering? Concern, anything revolving or involving concern, comes from a fearful state. And care is empowering, and it comes from a loving state. What might that look like? Well, if someone is coming to you with their problems and they are explaining their problems to you and would like you to identify or join them with their problems, they are wanting you to be concerned. And yet, when we show up for another in that place of concern, what we're actually doing is we're reinforcing their belief that they are small, that they are insignificant, or that they're a victim, and there is something to be worried about. Yet if someone comes to us in their concern, in a place of care, we can certainly acknowledge how they're feeling and why they're feeling that way, but refuse to acknowledge that they are a victim or their smallness, because in the place of care, in the place of love, we see them as whole and as being capable. You see the difference? That will greatly affect our experience. The invitation that I propose for everyone today is to take a look at how they're showing up for themselves on this life journey. Have you been showing up for yourself in a state of caring, of love, acceptance, and understanding that you are already whole and complete? Or have you been showing up from a place of concern where you are worried and anxious and feel like you're lacking and not enough? And in that place, to maybe acknowledge that there is a way to look at it differently and experience life differently, not only for how we show up for ourselves, but how we show up for others, and how that might have an impact on an entire community. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective, and until we speak again, please be well.